Please tune in to the SAICA 35 Under 35 webinar, where I'll be sharing a bit of my story and my journey, some of the lessons that I've learned along the way, and hope you enjoy the webinar. I'm Baba Lagova. I'm the director at Majali Chartered Accountants. I'm also a farmer at a farm called Nalitemba Farming in the Eastern Cape, where I also grew up. I also didn't know how to do it until I started. So basically, I think the idea behind it was that there are so many stories that are not captured of the South African entrepreneurs.
If you're a business person, it means that you really just focus on that one business that you're in. But if you're an entrepreneur, then it doesn't stop. You start something, you grow it, it starts realizing some sort of returns, you move on to something else.
The South African entrepreneurs. And I just wanted to engage with those entrepreneurs, to just capture the lessons they've learned, capture the journey that they've gone through, and how they overcame the challenges that they were facing. We find that most small businesses in South Africa failed in the first 1,000 days. And that's what I was just trying to understand, what makes a small business survive and what makes a small business fail. Having those interactions with different types of small businesses and just engaging in those conversations, for me, was such a learning curve also, because I'm also an entrepreneur. And learning from other entrepreneurs as well really helped me to say, these are the things to look out for, the things to avoid, the mistakes to avoid, and how to overcome such challenges, especially when you're going in this route of entrepreneurship. So it's been a really great experience for me, and I eventually learned how to do YouTube videos. But it's been such an awesome experience. For me, I looked for people that were in the space to say, I have this idea that I want to capture the stories of entrepreneurs that we don't even know about. And started working with people that do videography, people that are photographers, makeup artists. So it was partnering with people who are already in the space, creating videos, creating content that understood how it works, so that I don't spend time trying to learn what someone else is already really good at. So then having the team around me, we're able to then focus on our strengths, to say, I'm really good at this, and one is good at editing, one is good at doing this, but we share a common vision to say, these are stories that we need to hear about. These are stories that we're going to learn from, and this is something that we are passionate about, making sure we create content around. I think the most valuable lesson that I learned from this, and also I saw it was a lesson that I was learning across the different entrepreneurs I was having conversations with, is consistency. You need to be consistently doing what you are working on, and you'll then see the results. It's not going to be results in the next month. It's not going to be results in the next 6 months, but you need to be consistent in what you're doing. And the passion behind why you even went into the space you go into as an entrepreneur is what's going to drive you to be consistent. So having a passion for what you're doing is the one thing, or the one factor that you really need to stay consistent, determined and focused on what you're doing. And it was entrepreneurs in different spaces, but you will see that the one factor or the common denominator is they were consistent in how they went about their businesses. They were consistent in research, consistent in looking for clients, consistent in sales. So everything around their business, they were making sure that every day they wake up, they show up, they do something towards advancing the vision they have for their companies. So as a CA, you have the ability to interpret the numbers and make it relatable to someone who has not even studied accounting in varsity. So having that the ability to bridge the gap and communicate it into something that's relatable for your day-to-day management of your personal finances that's basically how the qualification helps you translate the numbers to the people. for me, the one key tool that I've used to try and get someone who hasn't studied accounting in school or the community to understand financial literacy is starting where it matters the most to them, which is the bank account. The moment you see a bank account going down, you're worried. When you see it going up, you're excited. So always linking it to how it affects your bank account. It's easier to tell someone about budgeting now because they understand, oh, if I pay attention to how much I spend on my airtime and then decide to do it differently next month, I'm going to see the impact in my bank account, either being a saving in the expenses for the next month, or if I don't do it differently next month, I'm going to find myself spending more in my bank account is going down. So trying to link that to something that they care about, which is the money in the bank account, makes it easier now to explain why it's important to have a budget. And now going into the tools that they can use to budget. I think most of our banking apps are able to summarize our transactions now to say this is the income for the month that you've received, this is your outflow for the month, and some of the banking apps even go as far as maybe categorizing to say if you swipe at a restaurant, these are your entertainment expenses, this is your travel expenses if maybe you bought a flight ticket. So that helps people. It's a free tool. Your bank provides that for you. Also, if you want to use Excel, there are Excel templates that you can download for budgeting. So you are able to now start making sense of the numbers that are in your bank statements when you categorize them. Thank you to everyone that watched the webinar. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below. For those that have not been able to watch the webinar, please click on the link below and you'll be able to catch us in the interview for 35 under 35.